morning, everyone, and welcome once again to the Pet Show. Is your Pekingese behaving a bit peculiar? Does your calico kitten have you confounded? Are you being mystified by your Malinois? Well, if you love your dogs and cats, I'm assuming you do, want to understand their behavior almost as well as they understand yours? Or maybe you're just confused about your dog or cat's behavior and want to improve their lifestyle. You know what to do. Stay tuned, because once again, right here, right now, it is time for the Pet Show, America's first and only real pet psychology, pet training, pet behavior, and of course, pet lifestyle show. So if you love dogs and cats, you have come to the right place. Hop up on my couch. Bring those furry little buddies with you, folks. It is that time once again to let the animal analyzing begin. Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is the place where we absolutely, never a doubt about it, never a question about it, where we love, adore, and respect our pets as much as you do. If you'd like to give me a call, if you want to find out why your dog or cat may be behaving a certain way, they're digging, they're jumping, they're scratching, they've taken over the house, they're telling you what to do. Well, you get the idea. If you have a question about your dog or cat's behavior, want to find out why they may be behaving that way, usually, just to put you guys right on the track here, I'm a therapist. I'm an animal psychologist. So therefore, I'm going to blame it on you. It's just the way it is. But if you have a question or want to find out how to resolve an issue with your dog or cat, great time to give me a call. A lot of things that seem so devastating to the average pet guardian are really not that hard to resolve. I just worked with someone this week who was just horrified about his dog destroying his backyard, digging and chewing and chewing and digging and digging and chewing. You get the idea? I spent a little time with him. I told him what to do, and just within 3 days, I got a call back saying, Warren, you're a genius. And after I agreed with him, obviously, I said, no, it's just that you did the right thing. So that's what we do here on the show. We take a look at life, not only from our point of view, but from our dog or cat's point of view. And sometimes that gets other people in my profession a little angry. But you know what? Who cares? As long as we're doing the right thing for your dogs or cats. So anyway, great time to give me a call. I got lots of great stuff to give away. Lots of new stuff on the Pet Show to give away. Great stuff to calm your dog down and help with any injuries your dog may have. I got a brand new mouthwash for your dogs and cats. Dogs, if you want them more kissable, we'll do that. I got copies of my best-selling book, either dog or cat. I have Lucy pet food. I have doggy lickies to give away. What else do I have to give away? All natural herbal flea spray. I got T-shirts to give away. Plenty of stuff. Air horns. Lots of great stuff to give away. So if you have a question or a comment, just want to brag a little bit about your dog or cat, great time to give me a call. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. So, someone asked me this week, Warren, how many books have you actually written on animal behavior? Well, if you're watching me on YouTube, behind me, you'll see like 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 5, 6, 7. Actually, it's 12 books. And what makes my books a little bit different, and I think what makes this show a little bit different is most people in my profession are, this is what you got to do to stop your dog from doing this. This is what you got to do to stop your cat from doing that. Not here on the Pet Show. We take a look at life from their perspective as well and try to resolve issues in a complimentary way. What's good for you, what's good for your dog, what's good for your cat. So that's why you have a question or comment. You love your dogs or cats. Great time to give me a call. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. And if you're new to the show, you hear me say I give a lot of items away. Everyone who calls in gets a free gift. Just so you know, it's not like I'm giving away milk bones here. Some of the items are worth 30, 40, or even $50. So if you have a question or a comment or want to share a great Thanksgiving story about you and your pet, a great time to call me, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I'll tell you my coyote stories a little bit later. I am so angry, not at the coyotes, I am so angry at people and what they do, but we'll talk about that later. So I am not saying I'm pro-coyote, although I am, but it's amazing. Well, let me just give you a story. Someone in my neighborhood is feeding coyotes. Now, they think they're doing the right thing maybe by feeding that coyotes in the neighborhood, but listen to me. In the state of Arizona, I'm not sure about California, but in the state of Arizona, when coyotes become really, really kind of all over the place, They come in and they trap them, but not like bears, not like cougars, not like bobcats. They don't take the coyotes and transport them to some other wooded area and let them go. As soon as they trap them, they're immediately killed. So these people that think that they're doing the good thing for the coyotes by feeding them, they're not. Let them live their life the way they live. They stop hunting. They lose their hunting instinct. Let the coyotes be. If you have a small dog or you have cats, keep your cats inside and keep your small dogs on a leash and harness or leash and collar, and you won't have to worry about it. Coyotes got to live too, folks. Agree or disagree? Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. All right, so let me tell you what's coming up on today's show. You know by now, I put a lot of topics together. I'll try to get to every single topic I have. If I don't, you can always check them out on YouTube. We got some really interesting topics today. Things you may not think about, but things that really do keep me up at night. Here's an example. You've heard the expression. I'm sure you've heard this expression, right? Let sleeping dogs lie. You've all heard that. Well, how much sleep does your dog really get? Well, not as much as Rip Van Winkle, but you'll be surprised at how many Z's your dog needs. Coming up. Is it 10 hours a day? Is it 15 hours a day? Is it 8 hours a day? Or does your dog need as much as 20 hours of sleep a day? We'll find out. So if you have a question or comment about your dog sleeping, or want to talk about how your dog is kind of acting like Rip Van Winkle, give me a call, 866-870-KRLA. Also coming up on the show. For my absolutely amazing, eccentric cat lovers out there, I adore you guys. So your cat is licking you. He's rubbing his head on you. He's biting you. He's hiding, sleeping on your chest. You know, from your cat's point of view, what does this all mean? Did I mention sleeping in strange places like the bathtub or on top of your computer keyboard or even a plain cardboard box? I'll explain coming up. Now, on the show, if you're a regular listener to the show, and shame on you if you're not, you know, we talk a lot about separation anxiety. This goes back probably, 30 years ago maybe, when the two-income household really became popular. That's when separation anxiety really came to the surface. So we talk a lot about separation anxiety. You've heard me talk about abandonment issues as well. Well, today we're going to talk about something that maybe you've never heard of. It's called confinement distress. Confinement distress. How does it affect your dogs? Could it cause some really negative behaviors? You bet it can. And on top of that, we'll take a look at the top 6 holiday dangers for your dogs and your cats as well. Again, the number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. As always, plenty of time for all your calls and comments. As I said, lots of amazing stuff to give away. So, if your pet is jumping, chewing, scratching, maybe that new rescued kitty is confused about the litter box, maybe that beautiful dog you just adopted isn't housebroken, dog doesn't get along with other dogs, maybe doesn't like some of your friends, or your dog just believes if he sees it, he's got to hump it, give me a call. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. And help me celebrate. We've been on the air, now I told you last week, November, we've been on the air consecutively for 45 years. It's not because of me. It's because of you. You know, when I first started, people would say, a pet show? Come on, there's no say. You're not talking about politics, Warren? No, I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about your dog peeing and pooping. All those politicians that were on the air, they're all gone. They're all gone. Peeing and pooping Warren's pet show is still on the air. So here's the question of the day. I've asked this before. I really want to get a response to this one. Come on now. What is your dog or cat's favorite word? What is that word that you cannot say in front of your dog or cat, or that phrase you cannot say in front of your dog or cat, or those phrases you cannot say in front of your dog or cat, or that word? Give me a call. I want to hear that word or phrase that you cannot say in front of your dog or cat, or maybe you do say it because it makes them absolutely excited and thrilled. Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA, your dog or cat's favorite word. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away on the Pet Show as well. I'm going to talk more about coyotes later. You know, as an animal behaviorist, there's not an animal I don't love. You know, when I was growing up, snakes, snail, guy had them all. And the one thing I learned, and I think that's what my audience, I think that's why I love doing the show with you guys, is because we kind of agree on this, that it's so important to respect other living things. Some people say, oh, it's just the bee. The other day, I have a little pool in my backyard. There was a bee in there. I walked into the pool with a little net, took the bee out, kind of fanned him off to dry him a little bit. I thought he was going to sting me, but he took off the other way. So you have to respect all of the living things. If you believe like I do in any type of spirituality, every living thing has its importance and should be saved. I'll get off my tangent. 866-870-KRLA. Thanksgiving coming up. What are your plans for Thanksgiving? Do you have your pet included? You have any anxieties, any questions about what might be dangerous or not dangerous? I'll go over a list a little bit later on the show. Again, 866-870-KRLA. That is the way to get through to the show. If you want to watch the YouTube, you get to see my beautiful face. You get to see my face here and see me sweat when I don't have the answer right away. It's youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. That is the way to get through. So if you have a question or comment, great time to give me a call. I see we got a call coming in right now from Glendale and Doug. A great call, by the way, Doug. My heart breaks for you and your buddy, but let me find out what's going on. Let's go to Doug in Glendale. Hey, Doug, welcome to the Pet Show.
Yes, thank you. Our cat lost his best friend, so to speak. Our 18-year-old cat passed away in January, but now our 15-year-old cat, ever since that happened, his behavior has changed markedly. He seems to be very upset all the time, meowing in a very loud voice. We thought maybe it's because he was smelling another cat outside, but we never saw another cat out there. And he just seems to be emotionally very upset and very clinging to my girlfriend, seemingly every time she leaves the room, he starts meowing in a very loud voice.
Well, let's take a look at it from a couple of different perspectives. Number one, I'm so glad you called because I can guide you through this. That's important. Number two is I want you to understand, and this is important for me to know, when the 18-year-old cat crossed over, where was the 15-year-old cat? Was he in the same house? Was he
same
the
house.
vet office?
Yeah. He lived for 15 years of his life, which he is now. He knew only that cat.
Okay, so let's go over a couple of things. This happened in January, right? Is that what you said? Yeah. January? Okay, yeah. So it's almost not a year, but it's getting there. Dogs and cats and human beings all go through a grieving process. Sometimes the grieving process is quicker and easier for some people. And when you have two animals that are so bonded, as closely as your two were bonded, I think a good part of what's going on here is the fact that your 15-year-old cat is not necessarily accepting the fact that the 18-year-old cat is gone, even though it's been this long. Yes. So there's a lot of things indicating. For example, when a person loses a close friend, there's two ways they can go. They become either withdrawn or they become very clingy. That's a human being. So I think your cat is going through stages of grief right now. There's nothing we can do to get him totally over the grief. However, we just got to make sure the grief doesn't send him into a major depression. So we need a lot of distraction. Whenever you have any type of grief going on, it's important for them to grieve, but it's important for them to be distracted a little bit so the grieving doesn't become so overpowering. So that's one of the things that you need to do. So even though the cat may not play with toys, even though cat may not play with boxes anymore, bring them in the house anyway. Just have them there as a distraction for him to go over and sniff for 5 seconds. That will make a difference as well. Now, over the years, as many dogs and cats as I've lived with and helped people with, it's not uncommon for certain cats, especially incredibly bonded as your two were, for one to take a really, really long time to get over it, if they ever get over it. So what we need to do is understand that even if the cat never gets over it, we got to do what we can do at least to get his mind off it for short periods of time and help him ultimately get through. So that's where you need to be at this point, really. Have you sat down with him and had a conversation?
Well, of course, we do play with him with toys.
No, but I mean, have you sat down? Have you and your girlfriend sat down with the cat and say, "Hey, listen, we're all upset. We all know you lost your best friend. He was. I know this sounds eccentric to people, but the conversation, the tone in your voice, the physical movements on you and your girlfriend may be helpful in calming him down a little bit, at least for that temporary minute or two that you're talking to him."
He tries all the time to talk to him in a gentle voice, but from what you're saying, we should be directly talking to him.
Absolutely, yes. Okay. You have to get his mind off of it. If you're not directly talking to him, you're not. There's also a relatively, you know what, can you hold on? Can I put you on hold? I need to take a break, so let me put you on hold, and then we'll come right back to you after this. It's a real interesting call, and I think a lot of people might have similar questions because so many of my listeners have more than one pet. If you do have a question or a comment or even want to respond to Doug, give me a call, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me take a quick break, then we'll get back to all of your phone calls. Great time to give me a call at the beginning of the show. Get real busy towards the end. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752, the way to get through. Before we took that last break, we were speaking to my friend Doug in Glendale, and Doug had two cats. One is 15 years old. He had an 18-year-old cat that passed away. The two cats were really, really bonded, and since the passing of the 18-year-old cat last January, the surviving 15-year-old cat is having a little bit of a difficulty. You have that pretty much right there, Doug?
Yes.
Okay, there's a couple of things. Now, before the 18-year-old cat, I hate to say that, what was the cat's name?
Pewter, like the metal color,
okay.
pewter.
So before Pewter passed away, the surviving cat knew it way before you did. When I was studying in Europe, one thing we learned about cats, because of their incredible instinctive behavior and their incredible sense of smell, they can, I don't want to say predict, but I guess in a way it is predicting, but they can sense the changes in another cat, in a dog, or a human being prior to them crossing over that bridge. So the trauma that the 15-year-old went in when Pewter was crossing over and being there at the same time is kind of like someone being with their significant other when they pass away. It's not an easy thing to get over. And so I think, number one, it's been January. So people say, well, it's been a long time. Well, it's not been a long time. It takes more time than that. The most important thing, two things you can do is, number one, distract the cat a little bit. Now, there's a product on the market. It's relatively new to me, but I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. It's a calming disc. It's made by a company, actually right here in Arizona, called Acorn Pet Products is the name of the company. But the specific product I'm talking about is something called a calming disc. It's kind of used for behavior, but it has a lot of incredible all-natural, lavender and things that are good to calm them. That in conjunction with some pheromones may help you get through it. But I really believe, and I'm going to send you one of those calming discs. Does your cat wear a harness or collar?
Wears a collar.
Okay, well, this disc I'm going to send you fit right on her normal. It's a great. You can check it out before you get it because it can take a while to get there. Go to acornpetproducts.com. They do a lot of great work, and I'm going to send you one of these.
It hangs off the collar of the cat?
No, it actually the collar kind of slips through it. It's hard to describe, but it kind of slips through it. Yeah, it's great. It's not an insert.
This grief lasts this long.
Oh no! Listen. With human beings and with animals, there's no time limit on grief. And I know people that are still grieving the loss of a significant other 8, 10, 12 years later. I've worked with dogs that have been so bonded with their individual guardian or another pet that it's taken 2, 3, 4 years. Many of the dogs I've adopted came out of situations where one of the dogs was either they saw the dog being killed or it died for whatever reason, or a cat for the same reason. It takes time, so you can't put a time on it. Every living thing takes a little bit longer to go through it. Now, at 15 years old, of course, there's other things taking place there, but as long as the cat is physically healthy, let the grieving process go through, but I want you to make sure you spend plenty of time distracting the cat a little bit, again, adding the new toys, and having the conversations, not at her, but the conversations with her. I think that will help you, and I can hear it in your voice, you and your girlfriend get through some of this grieving process, but more importantly, it will help the cat. Having conversations with animals can make all the difference in the world. Contrary, that people say, well, your cat doesn't know what you're talking about. The cat knows exactly what you're going through, and going through anything together with a person or another animal makes all the difference in the world. I hope that helps you out a little bit there.
It does. Thank you. We will certainly be doing that.
It's interesting, much. Doug. A lot of people. What would you say to someone who said, hey, Doug, you went back to work, your cat died, you went back to work a week later, and people say, hey, it's just a cat, Doug. What do you say to them?
Well, I don't think they have experienced having a pet as close as that.
Yeah, it's the one thing over the years, and as long as I've been doing this, and I've had more arguments, people don't realize that people say, well, you can't possibly love a dog or cat as much as you love another human being. Hey, try me. And I think sometimes even more. But there's a bonding there. There's that non-traditional relationship where you know the cat is loving you, you know the dog is loving you entirely with no strings attached. And I think that makes all the difference. Well, anyway, Doug, don't hesitate to call me back. I am going to put you on hold right now. The lovely Suzette, who you can cry on her shoulder too. She's amazing. The lovely Suzette will take your name and address, and I'm going to send you one of these calming discs for your cat. Make sure you get that, Suzette, calming disc for your cat from my good friends over at Acorn Pet Products. What a great call it is. Anyone have any other advice they might want to give? Doug, give me a call. I mean, we work together. This is the Pet Show family. We do this together to make all the difference for everybody. But it's interesting that a lot of people just assume when you have a dog or you have a cat and the cat or dog crosses the rainbow bridge, it's just a dog or it's just a cat. Those people don't have the heart that you have. My listeners, you have hearts of absolute gold. I mean, if you hear people calling me, Warren, I adopted this three-legged dog. Warren, I adopted this cat that had was deaf. I adopted this other cat that was blind. Or I adopted this. You guys are absolutely amazing. And very often it bothers me. My wife will tell you it bugs me because, oh, Warren, you're so great. I love your show. You say, no, it's not me. I'm not adopting all these dogs. I'm not giving all these dogs a home. You are. In fact, I'm going to post something I just received early this morning. My lovely wife, Denise, showed it to me. Denise pretty much is in charge of the Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund. And as I tell you all the time, we donate monies to groups you'll never hear about, small mom and pop groups that raise $50 at a white elephant sale to spay or neuter an animal, or groups that are somewhere and have no idea how to raise money. All they want to do is save these animals. Those are the groups that Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund helps. And I believe I didn't even get a chance to read the whole thing yet, but there was just an article in I believe it was an Idaho newspaper about how my animal fund, the Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund, donated money to an organization, and therefore they were able to spay and neuter, 26, 30 cats or dogs, whatever it was. To them, that was major. To those dogs and cats, that's major. So if you want to check out the Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund, please do, especially around the holiday season. Check out hugsandkissesanimalfund.org, hugsandkissesanimalfund.org. By the way, do have some open lines, which is pretty unusual here at the Pet Show. So if you have a question or comment or want to talk to me about Thanksgiving and your pets, or want to even respond to Doug, I mean, how do you feel? Do you think it's okay for someone to... Well, there's something going on right now. There's been a law that's trying to be passed in some states now, giving pet guardians like you, pet guardians like me, if our pet does cross over the rainbow bridge, or our dog does cross over the rainbow bridge, we're entitled to take off some time to do grieving, to have our grieving process. And as I said, and I keep saying, I've been doing this for a long time, and 45, 50 years ago, people did not understand the relationship. I mean, people that live with dogs and cats may have understood the relationship, but they didn't understand the incredible bond that people have. And when I started talking about it, I remember writing an article for the New Yorker specifically on that. The bond that we have with our pets is all right, Warren, get in trouble, but I believe this from my heart. Anyone out there agree or disagree? I'd love to hear from you as well. So give me a call, 866-870-KRLA. I believe sometimes that the bond that we have with our dogs, the bond that we have with our pets, is even stronger than the bond that we often have with people. I can't think of a time in my life, I've been concerned, but I can't think of a time in my life where I ever felt neglected, where I ever felt put upon, or I felt taken advantage of on purpose. I've never felt that. So when people say, Warren, I know you've dedicated your entire life to what you're doing. Yeah, I have it easy now. I'm living in beautiful Arizona, just moved from Santa Monica, have a nice new car, a nice new house, 2 dogs, a beautiful wife, great food on my table. But the bottom line is the one thing I will never forget. Without the love and kindness of all the animals that have helped me save my life, helped me get through traumas in my life, you would never understand. Never understand. Someday I'll spend some time on the radio with you going through some of the things I had to go through whatever it was. But the one thing I will never forget, in my heart, in my brain, in my soul, that if there's a dog, if there's a cat, if there's a chicken, or a bumblebee that needs help, I'm going to be there. You know why? Because I believe if the situation was switched around, they'd do the same thing. Call me eccentric. I wear that as a badge. Great time to give me a call. The phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. If I don't take a quick break, I'm going to get something thrown at me. No, you can't throw it because he's in LA, but Alex has his way of getting even with me. So let me take a quick break. We'll get back to all your calls right after this. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. We are back on The Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call. The phone number 866-870-5752. 866-870-KRLA. Joe, James, Tom, we'll get right to you after this. But let me do this. I have never been on a cruise. I have no intentions of ever going on a cruise. I cannot imagine being on a ship for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. Although I love, in my entire life, other than now, I never lived more than a mile from the ocean. Grew up on Long Island, then lived in Santa Monica, so I was always close. But if I ever decided that a cruise was in my best interest, here we go. For decades, pet guardians faced a tough choice when planning a cruise vacation: leave their dogs behind or skip the voyage entirely. Now, a revolutionary shift in the cruise industry is making waves as Margaritaville at Sea announces the world's first fully integrated dog-friendly cruise, leaving from Tampa, Florida on November 2025, next year. Allowing pets on board. It's complete, has everything, all the amenities your dogs need. Everything is there. A cruise with your dog or your, well, not cats, but taking it. That might be a fun cruise, right? What do you think? Would you take a cruise with your dog? I think it would be great. It's a lot better than probably some of the people that you're going to meet. Although I'm not going on a cruise. I am not going on a cruise. I don't know why I'm so adverse. My lovely wife, Denise, wants to go on a cruise and would love to go on a cruise. And here I am saying, let's rent a little boat on the lake and I'll drive it myself. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. I'm going to take you guys right in order. It's going to be Joe, James, Tom, and Tina. But right now is Joe in Woodland Hills. Hey, Joe, welcome to The Pet Show.
Hi, Warren. I really love your show. So I have an apartment that has 2 master suites, and I rented one of the master suites out to someone who has a big Maine Coon kitty, and I am currently in the other master suite on the opposite side of the apartment. I have my own kitty that I'm fostering for my sister who does a Pusses and Pets rescue on. You see her on Montana Avenue every weekend. But the point of it is that the Maine, even though these cats never come in contact, the Maine Coon seems to be highly disturbed that there's a cat on the other side of the apartment. They're both males, and when I even approach the Maine Coon cat that my roommate has, he hisses at me. So he is disturbed with the presence. She's claiming that he is disturbed with the presence of the other cat, the big Maine Coon cat is. And I want to know if there's something I can do. Do they have to meet? Do they have to have lunch together? What do we do?
Yeah, lunch and a martini always solves. I don't drink, but lunch and a martini always solves cat situations.
Okay.
At least among the people. No, at least among the people, not among the cats. Anyway, here's the scenario, okay? And I mean this from the bottom of my heart because I get this all the time. How would you feel if another guy moved into that other apartment and used everything of yours and was always around? How would you feel? You wouldn't feel good about it, all right? So the bottom line is this. You have to make sure that the Maine Coon cat, your roommate's cat, thinks that the best thing that ever happened was, in fact, the arrival, and bless you for doing this, the foster, and give me the name of that group again later on, the foster cat that you are taking care of. So how do we do that? First of all, we talk about scent swapping. You take a stuffed animal or a towel, rub the scent of your cat on it, bring that into your roommate's room, vice versa with the scent of her cat in your room. That's number one. Let them get used to the smell a week or 2 weeks. Then what I would recommend doing after that is, again, bring them out, one person holding one person holding the other, sitting on opposite ends of the room. When they ignore each other, that is enough for that night. Stop. Then as they seem to be ignoring each other more, Or what I recommend is you cover the floor with all kinds of boxes and bags. So this way, when they're together, the focus now is not going to be on them. It's going to be on each other. It's going to be on that. So it's something that can easily be done. But also, God, I'm giving away all these calming discs. Those calming discs really can make a difference as well for her cat and your cat. But I want you to do this. I'm not going to send you the calming discs. I want you to get 2 of them, one for your cat and one for her cat. So all you need to do is go to the website I'm going to give you right now. It's acornpetproducts.com, and I'll tell you why I'm doing this in a second. acornpetproducts.com, and I want you to get some of those calming discs. The reason I'm not sending it to you, and I could.
Listen, I promise I'll buy the other one. Can you at least get me one of them?
No, listen to what I'm saying. They're going to send it to you faster. So get it from them, and then I'm going to send you a copy of my cat book on first cat psychology. How's that?
Okie dokie.
So what I want you to do is go to their website, because in other words, I have to go to my assistant has to go to them, then they ship it from there to you, blah, 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 blah. But go directly to them, acornpetproducts.com. In the interim, let me do this. I'm going to put you on hold. Suzette will pick up. I'm going to send you a copy of the cat book, which is a lot more expensive, by the way. But it says to me that these cats are going to be here. You're fostering the cat, but who knows? You might wind up being a foster failure. And if that be the case, then I want you to be able to make sure these 2 cats get along with each other, and that's where the book will come into play. And by the way, the book's more expensive. So the book's on its way to you. In the meantime, go to that website and pick up those. And by the way, they have the discs for dogs as well. So I want you to check those out. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. James in Encino. Welcome to the Pet Show.
Good morning.
How you doing, James?
Encino Man.
And Encino Man, there you go. That was a great movie, by the way.
Yes. Now, that guy lost all his hair. I'm bald now. I'm the bald Encino Man.
Bald Encino Man.
Just regarding the gentleman who had lost one of his cats.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just a friendly suggestion. What if he can either on a temporary basis or permanent get another cat, so the other cat would, I don't know, socialize or whatever, or forget about the loss.
Do you have a significant other or a close friend?
No.
Okay, I was going to say if you did, and God forbid something happened to them, and within a relatively short period of time, you got involved with somebody else. How do you think you would feel?
Well, I mean, you're talking about like you're talking to them, just to get their mind off of it. I don't know. No, it's an
interesting idea. It's definitely an interesting idea. Yeah. But I think sometimes what often happens if we don't get the cat through the grieving process at the beginning by introducing another cat right away, that could be counterproductive. It could work. You're absolutely right. I've seen it work 1,000 times. But at the same time, it could be counterproductive. But the fact that his cat is having such a difficult time going through the grieving process as it is, I don't think moving another cat in at this point would be the way to go. Now, he could try it. He could work with some of the rescues, maybe bring another cat into the household, and maybe that'll work. Maybe a female would work with him. But I think at this point, letting the cat a little bit more grieving process would help a lot. So let me James, do you have any pets right now?
No, not right now. No.
No pets right now, but you're a pet lover and you're listening to my show. Can I ask you why?
Well, I have a good heart.
I can tell you. I can tell you have a great heart. But anyway, listen, don't go anywhere, James. I'm going to put you on hold. Thanks for that call, by the way. I'm going to send you a T-shirt that says, "None of my friends walk upright," and I really do appreciate that phone call. Let me take a break. Tom in Long Beach has a cat that's biting his ankles. Oh, my goodness. We'll get to Tina in Whittier. I think she lost her Siamese, and a puppy peeing on the floor. My goodness, all these tough questions. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. By the way, if you notice that your cat is hanging out around you a lot more than normal, maybe it's not your cat's issue, maybe it's yours. Cats are incredible at picking up illnesses, diseases, or even minor sicknesses in the people they live with. So the next time your cat's paying a different type of attention to you, maybe sniffing a specific area, maybe it's time to set up a doctor's appointment. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Quick break, then right back at you. Listen. they're doing to make sure your dogs and cats are secure over the holiday. A lot of dogs and cats get sick, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on the show as well. We're going to get to Tom, Tina, and Susan. I do have an open line, so it's a great time to call me, 866-870-KRLA. I guess I'm the only one that does this. I thought everybody did it, but I guess I'm the only one that has special words that I can't say in front of my pets. And that's what I was asking today. Does anybody have a special word or phrase that they can't use in front of their dog or their cat? I mean, come on, there's got to be something. Mommy's home, daddy's home, you want supper time, or what do you want? There's got to be some word that you guys use it there. What's your dog or cat's favorite word or expression? Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA. If you get through, a lovely gift will be on its way for your best friend. Also coming up, by the way, is how much sleep is normal for your dogs. Anyone out there want to guess? Give me a call. How much sleep do you think your dog gets? How much sleep do you think your dog needs? Give me a call. I'll send you a gift, 866-870-5752. But right now, let's go to Tom, who has a cat biting his ankles. We can't have that. Hey, Tom, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hey, Warren, what's up? I have a big orange rescue that I rescued about 5 years ago, and he's about 22 to 24 pounds.
What are you feeding him, bricks? My goodness, 22 pounds.
And he's got a back strap on him. I mean, he's got huge paws. He's just big. And when I rescued him, he's a good boy. He's not one of the most affectionate, but he'll sit in your lap, or my lap, but he likes to stalk me. And he loves to get brushed. I brush him 4 times a day. And the guy just, when he gets down, he will stalk me and come after my ankles.
And what do you do when he comes after your ankles?
Well, and a lot of times I have my back turned, and he comes out, comes out of nowhere and swats at me, and then if I just jump, because a lot of times.
Okay, so in other words, what he's doing is he's assuming your ankles are a play toy. They're at that perfect height, or a rodent of some kind. He whacks it. You respond. Why should he stop? So there's a couple of things that we can do. Number one, what I recommend is knowing where your cat is when he looks like he's coming to you to give you a whack. Stop and stand perfectly still. It's very rare that they're going to go after that. Okay, that's what I want you to do. There's something else that we can do. It's kind of a little bit extreme, but we can try this out. If you can have one, well, I don't want to do that. See, I changed my mind while I'm talking at the same time. What I want you to do, and be totally honest with me, okay? Because I can't help you if you're not. If I were to come to your home right now, and I were to walk around on all fours, what would I see on the floor for the cat? Honestly.
Oh, just toys. He's got toys everywhere.
Okay, yeah, and he plays with those toys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he just finished playing with them right now.
When was the last toy you put down?
Probably 3 weeks ago.
Shame on Tom. Tom, cats are nomadic by nature. They love changes within their environment. Here's what I want you to do. If I say the word paper bag or cardboard boxes one more time, my head's going to explode. And the reason
I do that.
Every day? You change them every day?
No, I don't do that. No, I don't do that.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. It sounds to me like you're doing a lot of good things, so I'm going to help you. Hey, Tom, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a pair of slippers or a pair of socks that come over your ankle. I want you to wrap the outside of the sock with some double stick tape.
Okay.
Put this sock on, let him swat you a couple of times, and I promise your problem will be over. I hate to do that, but I promise your problem will be over. Now,
okay, that makes sense.
Well, thank you.
Right now, like right now, he's coming up to me, and it looks like he wants to nip me.
I just hope you.
What?
Well, it's not that he doesn't like you. It's just that he's being a cat. But also, now let me tell you about an extreme circumstance that I had. Oh, I don't have time to say it, but I'll talk about that when I come back. But I want you to do that in the meantime. Put some of that double stick tape on socks that you're wearing. But again, I want you to really make sure. I mean, everyone says yes, Warren. Make sure those cardboard boxes, those paper bags are being put down every day. Make sure you're getting them from the supermarket. Everyone smells different. Be creative. Excuse me. Put them in every single room that's there. If the cat's walking into a room and you're standing there, we can anticipate that he's going to want to come to your ankle. Grab a a cardboard box, grab a paper bag before he goes for your ankle to distract him there. Rather than correct him, I'd rather change his behavior. So if he starts associating with going after your ankle with being distracted by something different, that could work in your favor as well. That's where you need to be right now.
All right. Well, great.
Tom, you give me a call back and let me know. Give me a call back and let me know when your ankles heal up, okay?
Okay, no problem, buddy.
Don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you some Lucy pet food for your cat, and I appreciate that phone call. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. I'll tell you the story about how I stopped a cat that was ready to be euthanized from going after ankles when we come back. 866-870-5752. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. The deal. It's I got a break in about a minute and a half. Tina, I don't want to rush you. I know you just lost your Siamese cat. I want to spend enough time guiding you through this. Susan in Redondo Beach, it looks to me like you're pretty tired of your puppy peeing in the house, so we'll help you as well. So just bear with me. We're going to break for the top of the hour in a minute or so. Then I'll get to all your phone calls. I absolutely promise. I'll give you some great gifts as well. You know, it's interesting because, you know, as many years as I've been training, when I got back from overseas and I started training about 5 or 10 years later down the road, I started seeing people with dogs and something we call confinement distress, which I'll get into a little bit later. But it's actually confinement anxiety, and it can really be a big problem. Generally, you notice the dog either excessively barking, whining, howling. Now, a lot of it started, and listen, I'm not a pro-crate person. I think everyone should have a crate in their home for emergencies. I'm kind of a gate off an area, but ever since the crates and people doing this, I found that a lot more dogs are suffering with confinement distress. Now, it doesn't just mean that's a crate. It could mean the dog's gated in a small area. And it kind of really started years ago when everything started happening and we became a two-income family and everyone was out of the house and people started using crates. Trainers were recommending crates, not for training, but recommending crates whenever they left the house or confining a dog in a small area or tying the dog up. And with confinement comes a lot of issues. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. Quick break for the top of the hour. We've got a whole other hour to go when we talk about how much sleep your dog really needs. Answer all your questions. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. I'm Warren Eckstein. You're listening to The Pet Show. For your dogs and cats like I do, you've come to the right place. However, if you find out they're doing certain things, they're jumping, they're humping, they're digging, they're scratching, they're fighting, they're not getting along, they don't like your new boyfriend. If you have any questions whatsoever about your dog or cat's behavior, you have come to the right place. I'm Warren Eckstein, host of The Pet Show. Talking to you guys for 45 years. If you have a question or comment, great time to give me a call. Just a reminder that everyone that calls into the show with a question or comment and gets through to me live will get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat. Many of the items worth as much as $30, $40, $50. So if you have a question or comment, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. The question of the day, even if you answer the question, I'll still give you a great gift. I can't be the only one. Does anyone else out there have a special word or a phrase that they use or that their dog or cat absolutely adores? Mommy's home, daddy's home, you want to eat, you want to go outside, I'm driving dogs out there crazy. You want to go for a walk, you want to do this, you want to do that. Anyone have words or phrases? Give me a call, let me know. I'll send you a great gift. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me do this. I'm going to go to Tina. Then I'm going to take a quick break. Susan, I'm going to come to you right after that and stop your dog from peeing. I do have an open line or two, 866-870-5752. Just a reminder, if you want to help me keep those small mom and pop groups around the nation, helping the animals that no one else will help, the small mom and pop, because I'm not talking about the big groups with PR people and all that. Check out my hugsandkissesanimalfund.org. That's my own 501c3 nonprofit, hugsandkissesanimalfund.org. It's a holiday season. We like to give away as much money as we possibly can. We try to be as broke as we can all the time because I feel if there's money in the bank, I may not be doing my job with them. By the way, every single penny that you donate to Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund goes directly to the animals. There's no cost for office. That's me. There's no cost on mailing. That's me. There's no cost on expenses. That's me. So every single penny you donate to Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund goes directly to help those animals around the country that would have never had a shot. I'm going to post the Indiana group that we helped a little bit later on my Facebook page. By the way, if you're not following me, facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk, facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk. All right, so let me do this. I'm going to go to Tina, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about how much sleep your dog really needs. How much sleep do you think your dog is getting? Give me a call if you have a dog that sleeps a lot or too little. And then we'll go to Susan and Adriana, who has a Great Dane. I love Great Danes. A Great Dane that's barking too much. We'll see if the dog's barking too much or maybe you're hearing too much, Adriana. I'll get to you right after this. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. And I'll go back to that confinement distress as well. Dogs that are overly confined may do others when you're home. They do really well when you're home, but they don't do well as they're confined. And people assume that's separation anxiety. That's not what it's all about. It's not separation anxiety. It's that the dog can't deal with confinement. Maybe it was a dog that was tied up, or a dog that was in a shelter too long, or a dog that was abused. So confinement distress, it is really, really real. It's not just one of those things that people talk about it. Let's go to Tina in Whittier. Hey, Tina, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, hello, Warren.
Hi, Tina. I'm so sorry. What happened to your cat?
Well, I've talked. 10 years ago, she came to live with me at the age of 5, and we had a beautiful relationship. She was like another human being. She was the most gorgeous, dark-colored Siamese you ever saw.
What was her name,
Very
Tina?
Smart.
What was her name?
Kylie. They named her Kylie. I didn't want to change her name.
Sure.
We had our own language. I used the same words every day. And our favorite word to get her out from wherever she was, she'd come a-running every time I'd say cookie. Cookie was the treats at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm telling you, cookie's probably the word of the day for 90% of the people listening. Cookie, right?
Cookie. And our phrase was, when I knew she was hungry, I'd say, go to your dish. She knew that the dish was in the kitchen, full of food, and she would go there right after I tell her. She was very smart.
It sounds
smart. And she developed a kidney disease the last couple of years together. She was on special veterinary medicine and special food, that KD food.
Yeah.
And I wanted to keep her with me as long as I could.
Tina,
but,
how old was
help me. You were talking about earlier today on the phone. You're telling people whether another cat roommate's missing, how to get over, how the kitty should get over. Tell me how the human being can get over it.
Oh God, my heart just breaks for you, Tina. My heart. You know what? You adopted Kylie at 5 years old. How old was Kylie when she crossed the Rainbow Bridge?
It was on her birthday. She was 16.
Okay, so 11 years, you gave this cat something that no one else could have given her. You gave this cat your heart, your soul, and your life. Just from what you're telling me in terms of reaction and your talking and your conversations with her. So in terms of getting over it, just think about what Kylie would want. Kylie would want you to think about it. Kylie did everything in her power for the 11 years that you lived with her to make you happy. Why would you think Kylie would want nothing more than you to be happy right now? Yes, grieving is hard. Whether you lose a human companion or an animal companion, grieving is hard and difficult. But grieving also, from my perspective, can be positive. Because when you grieve something deeply, it lets you know how deep that relationship was in fact. The more you grieve over something, the deeper that relationship. So you had an incredibly special bond, I could tell in your voice, an incredible special bond with Kylie. The love between you and Kylie and you was insurmountable. And don't you think for a day that Kylie wasn't thankful every minute of that 11 years that she lived with you, that she was the luckiest cat in the world, because she was. Now, in terms of you getting over it, what you need to do is remember the good times. Don't focus on the time that she got sick and the fact that she was on KD and all the things you had to go through in the veterinary trips. That could make anyone crazy. And we all go through that at the end when we have someone or something that we love. So what you need to do is you need to sit back a little bit. I've been through so many losses in my life of humans and animals. And the one thing I've learned after all of it is, yeah, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be upset. but you need to let yourself grieve, go through all the stages of grief, and then you need to take the time to remember the positive. The first day she came into the house, the first time she scratched your couch, the first time she peed, the first time she knocked something off the counter. Think back of those times and laugh about those times, and just know that Kylie, when she crossed that rainbow bridge, is looking down at you now with a big sign that says, thank you, thank you, thank you. We will meet again one day. It's nothing easy to get to, and if you have a real difficult time, there are groups and people that can talk to you about it. But if you just kind of work it out a little bit, and also what I'd love you to do, and I'm going to say this for everyone, I don't talk a lot about my website, but if you go to my website, thepetshow.com, there's a section on the website. It's called the Ever After section, or Ever After. Now, you know I've been talking, as I said, for 45 years on the radio and before that TV. This is a compilation of poems and stories that people just like yourself, Tina, have told me about their pets that have crossed the rainbow bridge. Is it going to make you cry? Absolutely. I can't go there without bawling my eyes out. But at the same time, the crying that you do when you read the love other people had will make you feel better and understand that what you're feeling is totally, totally okay. To grieve little by little, to get over it. You'll get over it in time. Just remember, that's what Kylie would want you to do. I hope that helps you out a little bit there, Tina.
She was the only reason I came home. She was the only reason to do anything.
Well, why don't you do this, okay? Why don't you do this, okay? How long ago did she pass?
In August. But
okay.
Warren, my son has a kitty, and he thinks that it would be good therapy for me to take. I babysit her for my son. It's good therapy for me to have. What's better for a grand kitty and a grandmother than to be together? Well, it's not my cat, but
no, it's not. No, but your grandcat. It's your blood. It's your grandcat.
It's my grandkitty. Yeah, it's my.
That's right. And as good as your son is, and as lovely as your son may be, he's never going to be you, Tina. He's never going to have that same nurturing ability that I hear in your voice. So yeah, be that good grandmother. Take care of that cat. Make sure that cat has the best life. That would be the best thing that you can do. That would be the best statement you can make. The best reward. I'm thinking of the right word here. The best thing you can do for Kylie's memory.
Okay.
God, I want you to go to the website, thepetshow.com, check out the Ever After section. No, thank you. And you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to put you on hold. Obviously, I'm not going to send you anything specific. God. I'm going to send you a copy of the cat book. I want you to read it. Understand your grandcat. But also, there's a thing at the end. It's the final goodbye. We all have to say that at one time. And I'm sorry, Susan, hold on. I'll get you. Andrea, hold on. I'll get you. Anybody else trying to call, I will get you. Because I just felt the importance of speaking with Tina. I mean, lots of times, and she has a son, that's great. But lots of time, people need to talk to someone that's not as close to a specific situation. And I hope that helped you out a bit, Tina. I really do. God. It's so hard to say goodbye. It's so hard. I see that Tina has a copy of the book, so let's see what else we can send. I don't know what else I can send. Let's send Tina a T-shirt. I don't know what else to send her. Oh, you know what? Forget that all. Send Tina some Lucy pet food for cats. She's going to be feeding her grandcat. Yeah, on the way. Lucy pet food. She probably only has a KD left over from her cat, so yeah, some Lucy pet food for her grandcat's going to be a lot healthier for it. God. Now, it may sound difficult. When people call up like that, and occasionally we get people that have lost their pets. But it's why I do this show. It's why I do this show. I do this show because you, my listeners, for years, you're not my listeners. We're family. We've cried together over the years. We've laughed together. We've been stupid together. We've been crazy together. But you know what we've done? We've saved thousands of animals and help thousands of people enjoy their pets a lot more. Not me, you. You've given me more advice than I've ever given you. And that's what the show is all about. Back and forth and back and forth. Yeah, Andrea, I'll stop your dog from barking. Yeah, I'll stop your dog from peeing on the floor, Susan. That's all great stuff. But you know what? You, my friends, you my family, are the true heroes, the true people, saving the animals that you're saving and loving them as much as you do. Let me take a quick break. We come back. Susan, I promise you'll be my first caller. Bless you for being so patient with me. We'll get to Adriana, Linda. Linda has. Here's where we go again. Linda has a question about a dog they're going to euthanize because it needs some training. Linda will get to your call as well. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Quick break, then right back. On the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. If you're a numbers person, that's 866-870-5752. Let me get back to the phones, and we're going to go to my friend Susan, who both Susan and I aged a little bit since she's been calling. Hey, Susan, are you with me?
Hello there. I got something that I can't wait to hear your answer to this one.
I'm ready.
It's not that my puppy is peeing on the floor. He's 8 months old. He's a standard poodle, and he doesn't lift his leg. He pees on his leg. So he's squatting like a girl. And I want to know how the heck I'm supposed to get him to stop it. It's not like I can get on all fours and lift my leg and give him the idea. So what do I do?
You know how many times I've had to answer this question? First of all, he's an 8-month-old. Is it? Well, I'll give you the answer. You take it easy. Is he a standard poodle?
He's a standard poodle,
Okay, first of all, and I'm assuming it's a male neutered or not neutered?
No, he's neutered.
Okay. Couple of things that we can do here, okay? No, you don't have to pee on the pole yourself, okay? You don't have to do that. And if, there are extremes. It's not one of them. Here's what you do. Number one is go out, get yourself a spray bottle, mix it with just a little bit of ammonia and a little bit of water. Prior to taking him over to areas where you want him to pee, just spray a little of that down. The ammonia may encourage him to do that. At 8 months old, there are critical times when a puppy has to pee. After exercise, number one. After they wake up, number two. No pun intended. So, in terms of getting your dog to lift his leg, now I got to be honest with you. There are certain male dogs that will never lift their leg, and there are certain female dogs that lift their leg all the time. Let's face it, it's 2024, okay? So over the years, I've had a lot of luck with taking a little spray. I've actually done this, okay? And I don't advise this for everyone else. I've taken a towel, like paper towel. I've gone to telephone poles and fire hydrants. By the way, if you check out my YouTube channel, I did a whole thing on fire hydrant syndrome. Take a towel, I dab up around the fire hydrants where a lot of dogs are peeing. I take that to the areas ultimately where I want my dog to pee, put it all around the edge, and then I rub it higher where you get the scent up higher, and sometimes that's enough to encourage him to pee. So it'll be the spraying that urine a little bit higher, spray it above where you want him to kick. This way he may start lifting his leg. But I got to be honest with you, he's not going to be fully mature until he's 2 years old. So it may take a while for him not to lift his leg. So get a towel and wipe down his leg if he pees on it, okay? Just as long as he's not peeing on yours, I'm happy. But try the spray bottle, spray it above where you want him to pee. Try, if you want to pick up the urine like I did with a paper towel, you might not want your neighbors to see you doing that, but if you do, this is a really, really easy problem to resolve. Why is it easy to resolve? Either he's going to decide to lift his leg or he's not. We can encourage him and do what we can to get him to do it, but if he says one day, hey, Warren, shut up, I'm not lifting my leg, and that's the deal, then we got to deal with it.
Okay, I got one other quick question.
Sure, go ahead.
Since they don't fully mature until they're 24 months old, how long should they be on puppy food?
I would start, she's 8 months old right now, I would start introducing some adult food at this point.
Okay.
Just a little bit, and little by little make a gradual. In fact, you know what, can I send you some?
Oh, sure. That would be wonderful.
Oh, of course it's wonderful. It's the Pet Show. I'm gonna put you on hold. I'm gonna send you some Lucy Pet Formulas for Life for your puppy. Just when I hook you up with Suzette, just make sure she lets you know if it's big. It's a big dog, so make sure she has large Lucy Pet Food. And I got to be honest with you, okay? I have worked with dogs that will never lift their leg, but the most often, if you follow the advice that I just gave, they will in fact lift their leg. Let me do this. Let me just go over this, and I want to get to you, Adriana, next, Linda, Barbara, Stewart. But I want to talk about this. I promised I would. How much sleep is normal for your dog? I get this an awful lot. Most dogs sleep between 12 and 14 hours a day on average. Varies depending on age and lifestyle. Pet orphans also adapt to their owner's schedules and a series of shorter naps throughout the day. Napping throughout the day is common, while dogs' napping patterns depend on a variety of factors. Generally speaking, though, 3 to 5 naps daily is what they take. Sleep also depends on the age, the breed, and the energy level. For example, puppies and senior dogs sleep more, around 16 to 18 hours a day, while active breeds may sleep less. Working breeds or high-energy breeds like Border Collies might even sleep less than that, than lower-energy breeds. So here's the average. Puppies, 18 to 20 hours a day is average. Adult dogs, 12 to 14 hours a day is average, and senior dogs, 14 to 18 hours a day is what's considered average as well. Oh, God, we're going to go. Let's go to Adriana in L.A. Hi, Adriana. Welcome to the Pet Show.
Hello. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How bad did I screw up your name? Is it Adriana? Adriana? What is it?
Oh, Adriana is fine.
Adriana. Okay. What can I do for you, Adriana?
Yes, I adopted a Great Dane about a month ago.
Bless you
and
for that.
I started doing treat training with him in a group class. And I'm just wondering, like, if that's the best way to do training. Also, he does bark a lot for my attention.
And when he barks, do you give him attention? Plus the fact you're using treats. Okay, now here's the deal. I have nothing against treats for training. That's how my mother taught me. But listen to me carefully, okay? You have to use something called variable reinforcement. Basically, if treats are used consistently, they don't have the same effect as if they're used not as consistently. And variable reinforcement simply means that sometimes the dog gets a treat, sometimes he doesn't get a treat. Sometimes you get it every third time, sometimes you get it every second time, sometimes you get it every fourth time, sometimes you get it right after the other one. So that's called variable reinforcement. That's the way to train. So tell me a little bit about your Dane. Why was he where he was, and you adopted from a shelter, a person? How did you get him?
Yes, from a shelter. He was found as a stray, and he had parvovirus.
Oh, wow. And
they believe him to be 5 years old, so they said it's unusual for adults to get that. So,
yeah. So, thank you. It sounds to me like he found the right home. In terms of the barking, the worst thing that you can do is say, no, 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 stop barking. It's like telling someone to be quiet when they're crying. It's going to make the crying worse. What you do when he's barking, you can go over and say, thank you, I heard you, and walk away. Don't react to it. Thank you, I heard you, and walk away. Otherwise, he'll continue barking because you're giving him a lot of attention for it. I think that's going to be the major difference for you in terms of the barking end of it. In terms of the treat training, I don't particularly use treats, but variable reinforcement is the way to go. Some people use clicker training. I'm old school, okay? And I use good, solid, basic training. So what I'm going to do is, Adriana, and first of all, what color is your Dane?
He's black.
White feet?
Yes. Well, one white toe and white on his chest.
We used to call him Boston. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to send you a copy of the dog book, How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. Don't worry about things that you don't have the opportunity to do because he wasn't a puppy when you got him. It works with adult dogs as well. Be patient. Let him know every time he does something right how much he does. And give him the opportunity. This dog, you've had him for a few months. Who knows what he's been through in 5 years. I think about my dogs, what they've been through, before I got them. Maybe he was abused. Maybe he was beaten. Maybe he was this. Maybe he was that. And maybe all of a sudden he went from living in hell to living in an incredible place like you are. So give him some more time to adapt and adjust. Don't overly concern yourself with the barking right now. He probably never received attention in the past. So a quick thank you and move on is the way to go. So a copy of How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want is on your way. There's some training methods in there. You're going to a training class. If you're going to be using the treat training, speak to the trainer about variable reinforcement. I think that's probably the approach he would take anyway. Quick break. Linda, Barbara, Stewart, when we come back, 866-870. KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Let me leave you with this quote before I go to a break. This from St. Francis of Assisi, one of my favorite people in the whole world. If you have men who will exclude any of God's creatures from shelter of compassion and pity, you will have men who will deal likewise with their fellow man. How true that is. Quick break, then right back to you. I'm Warren Eckstein. You're listening to The Pet Show. Just heard my friend Larry talking about the holidays, and let me tell you, having spent quite a few years overseas myself, there's nothing that's going to bring a smile and tears at the same time to anyone in the service when they're overseas. It's almost like you're being visited from home by friends when you get. I told you, I grew up in a Jewish household on Long Island, so when I was overseas, especially in Asia, I would get my uncle would send me kosher salamis. That's right, Hebrew national kosher salamis. Most of the people I was stationed with never heard of a kosher salami, but I got to tell you, I was the hit as soon as that kosher salami. So do it. Make a donation. Go to 833, the number 2 troops, 833, the number 2 troops. I'm telling you, makes all the difference in the world. Whether they cry or smile, they'll remember and thank you every day. All right, let me get back to the phone lines here at the Pet Show. And we are going to my friend Linda in Irvine. Hey, Linda, welcome to the show. Hello, Linda.
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Linda.
Yes. I was pulled over by my dog. His collar broke, and I was pulled over. I ended up breaking my shoulder, getting some sprains and some other black and blue marks. The shelter took him in because the animal control came because he was running around the neighborhood, and he's not a well-behaved dog, and he was kind of showing bad behavior. He's now at the shelter. They're telling me that he's getting worse. His behavior, and they're going to have to, there's no way he can get adopted. I want to keep him, but I need a trainer that will go there and will see him at the shelter and will take him and train him because I'm not able to do it with my handicap right now. I cannot drive.
What kind of dog is it?
He's a Cocker Spaniel Terrier mix.
And what shelter is it?
Irvine.
Shame on them. Shame on them. They need to take your thoughts and your life into consideration and the dog's life into consideration as well. This is what I did for the majority of my life, going into shelters and working with dogs that were considered unadoptable and were adoptable. Now, this dog got ahead of you. He pulled you down. Yeah, he doesn't have the greatest personality in the world. But how long have you had the dog?
About 8 years.
About 8 years. Did this ever happen before?
The reason he came over was because the chain broke. But he's pretty tough on a walk, but he does.
No. Forget all that. Has he ever bitten anyone or another dog out on the streets in the 8 years that you've had him? So he got loose. He got loose from you once. He went after some dogs or whatever in the neighborhood. The guy from the shelter picked him up, brought him to the shelter. What do they expect the dog that lived in your home to react like at a shelter after being at a shelter after living in a home for all this time? Now, yes, your dog may need training, and you're going to have to find someone to come to your home and work with you. Maybe there's someone out there that can email, and I'll get your email as well. But the bottom line is shame. There are certain dogs I understand that you won't return because the dog is aggressive and he's killed 3 people in 5. This dog had never bitten anybody. He chased other dogs because he got loose. You fell on the ground and broke your arm. And so now on top of the stress that you're going through over your fall and the stress that you're going through because your dog is at the shelter, now they're telling you they want to kill your dog. That is not right. That is not right. Well, they should have someone there they could recommend.
They're telling me that I need to do something, and if I don't know any trainers, I have called some people.
They can't the shelter won't recommend somebody to you?
No, and as a matter of fact, some of them are actual trainers, and I've asked them to help me with the dog.
They would rather put the dog to sleep than help you?
I don't.
These are the questions. And listen, I love shelter workers. Some of them have the hardest job in the world. But if you have a dog there that has no history of aggressive behavior other than when he got that loose that one time after he knocked you down, then he went to a shelter where his behavior is going to totally change. God knows what he was like before you even got him. And there's trainers at the shelter and no one's willing to help you or recommend a trainer to you?
Not really.
Well, then it says to me, what's more important?
The dog didn't have really good behavior. He does growl and bark at people, but he's never bit anybody. But when people came to my house, he did growl and bark.
That's fine. That's fine. No, that's nobody's business. That's nobody's business but yours. If he's in your house and you let somebody in and he bites them, that's a different story. But if someone comes to your home and your dog barks and growls at them, a lot of dogs do that. As long as he's not biting them,
right?
As long that's behavior. Okay. Yes, he does need to be trained, 100%. But if they're not going to recommend a trainer to you, I would call your veterinarian. I would say to the veterinarian, can you recommend someone who can help me out with behavior and training? Have them come to your home, have them work with you and the dog, have them go to the shelter to work with the dog if they have to. But maybe there's more to the story than you're telling me, so I don't want to come too hard on the shelter. But it says to me, they have a dog there now that has a home, that can go back to that home, that has behavioral issues. They're trainers at the shelter. And they are saying to you, unless you get a trainer, they're going to euthanize your dog. Something doesn't sound right to me. Something has to go further. Anyway, send me an email at mail@thepetshow.com, mail@thepetshow.com. If there's a trainer in the Irvine area, and I'm sure there's a lot of them, that's willing to help out with Linda, you also email me at mail@thepetshow.com, and I will try to hook you guys together because this dog needs a little training. He doesn't need to be euthanized. I appreciate that call. I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to send you some hugs and kisses. Hopefully when he gets home, you can give him some of that. It makes me crazy. It makes me crazy. Let me just regress here for a second. Before I started doing radio, before I started doing TV and writing, before I had a good shirt on my back, and the only shirt I had to wear was my fatigue shirts from the service because that's all I could afford when I first got home, I would go around to shelters all over the East Coast, from Pennsylvania to Massachusetts to New Jersey to Connecticut. What I would do is I would go into the shelters and I would try to help people whose either dog was confiscated or wanted to adopt the dog, and the people that said, no, you don't want that dog, he's too aggressive. No, you don't want this dog. And then I would get involved with the dog, ego aside, work with the dog, find the dog a home, and they lived, for the most part, happily ever after. I'm not a miracle worker. I just have a heart that says, if something can be done, do it. If it can be done, do it. And I just hope, this is an Irvine shelter, so I'm sure it's either taxpayer or someone's funding it. Almost every single shelter now has a trainer or behaviorist on staff, specifically for this reason. And they should be helping you. I'm glad you called me, but you shouldn't have to. They should have been able to help you with the shelter. Anyway, if there's any trainer or behaviors out there, I give you a tremendous plug. If you can help Linda out, send me an email, mail@thepetshow.com. I'll hook you up with Linda, and let's see what we can do here. God, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to think about how many dogs and cats that maybe I wasn't able to save or other trainers weren't able to save that have been euthanized that could have turned out to be excellent. At one time in my life, and I talk about this in my autobiography, I had 32 dogs. Of the 32 dogs I had, let's see, there was Shannon's, there were at least 7 of them that the shelter wanted to kill. Because at that point I was starting to do a little media, I adopted all of them. And you know what? Every one of them was on TV with me. Every one of them went to nursing homes with me. Every one of them went to hospices with me. I remember taking them to Glen Garriff Nursing Home, the first nursing home in America that allowed animals in. That's where my heart is, with the animals. Sorry about the tangent, folks. Let me take a quick break. I promise Barbara will get back to you and Stuart when we go after a break. Let me take a quick break here. And if you agree or disagree with me, I'd love to hear from you. There's a lot of people out there, I'm sure, don't agree with me. But having been through the wars, this is the way I feel. And at my age, it's going to be the way I feel till I cross the Rainbow Bridge. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. 866-870-5752. Quick break, then right back to your phone calls. And just before I get to you, Barbara and Stuart, just a reminder, if I run out of time, these are the top 6 holiday toxins and dangers for your pets over Thanksgiving. Number 1 is chocolate. We've talked about before. Make sure there's no chocolate around. A lot of people, guests might be bringing it over. Keep the chocolate away from your pets. Xylitol. Maybe some of your friends are coming over and they chew sugarless gum, or a lot of treats, a lot of foods have sugarless substitutes like xylitol. Xylitol is deadly. Keep it away from your pets. Grapes and raisins. Also, keep them away from your pets. Onions and garlic. I know they taste great, but keep the onions and garlic. And bread, though. A lot of people make the the guy with the belly, those little muffins that pop up. I love them, but I can't think of what they are. Heat and serve, whatever they are. Bread dough. Before it's cooked, bread dough, the yeast can be very dangerous. And something that just started happening in the last few years is cannabis, marijuana. There's been a lot of reports from veterinarians over the holidays of dogs and cats suffering from ingesting way too much cannabis. Let me get back to the busy phone lines here. Let me go to my friend Barbara in Los Angeles. Hey, Barbara. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Warren. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Denise, Molly, and Willie.
Well, thank you so much. And back to you, too, Barbara.
And you know what? And thank you. And you can donate my gift because over the years, I mean, just not that long ago, you gave me a T-shirt, and I've gotten lots of gifts, so maybe somebody else can have that gift.
I will do that.
So I wanted to call in when I heard the nice lady who was grieving her Siamese cat, Kaylee, who had passed away in August. I wanted to encourage her to do what I've done. Since from July to October, I have lost 3 of my animals have died. I didn't see it coming. First, in July, my beautiful border collie girl just suddenly died. She was almost about 14, I guess. I had her for 12 and a half years. 2 cats. One was getting elderly. One was 11, and he had some kind of a seizure. And it is heartbreaking. I didn't want to adopt a dog, especially right away. But I wanted to encourage this lady to open up her heart and think of honoring her cat by adopting, not to replace her animal, but just to honor her cat and to save a life or more than one, and share her life with an animal, a dog or a cat that might be put down. I adopted this white Siberian Husky who was very neglected. It had hair loss. I won't go into all the details, but I took a leap of faith, and this dog I've had since August, he is an angel. His fur is growing in. He looks like a polar bear or a little reindeer.
Yeah, so Barbara, I want to make sure I don't run out of time, because what you said is so important, okay? You know, not everyone can move on, but I also recommend very often is, most of my listeners try to be foster homes, but they suck at it because they wind up adopting whatever they're fostering. I'm looking at you, Pam Show. So the bottom line is this. What you're saying is absolutely right. So she may want to consider working with a rescue group and fostering a cat or a dog, and I think that's a great idea if it's right for her, but she has to be at the right mind to do it. Yeah.
Warren?
Yeah,
can I say something else real quickly?
Sure, go ahead.
Tomorrow I'm going to the Pasadena Humane Society. During November, a senior can adopt a senior cat or a senior dog, and there are 2 cats, 1 or 2 cats I'm going to try to adopt also.
I love you, but I love you anyway, Barbara. I adore you. I got to move on, but thank you for that call. Thank you for encouraging her. If she wants to go out when she's ready to foster adopt, it's the way to go. You have a great Thanksgiving, Barbara, and we will speak real soon, I promise. I got to take another break, but Stuart, don't go anywhere, because if I don't get to you on this show, I'm going to get to you. This is what my computer says, and boy, can I help you, Stuart, if I have to. Stuart's saying, I lost my wife recently and my dog. God, my heart breaks for you, Stuart. I will try to talk to you when we come back. If not, I'll make you my first or second call on the national show, which we do right after this. I really can help you. I've been there I've been there with the wife. I've been there with the dogs. I've been there with it all. So I can definitely help you. Okay, Stuart. So we'll get to you right after this. A quick break. Let's take a quick break, Alex, and we'll get right back to the phones. The Pet Show. Just a reminder. After I do, I'm going to get to you, Stuart. After I do this show, I go to my national show. Write this number down. You can start calling at 1:00. It's the same type of show. I give away the same gifts, but it goes to all over the United States and Canada and other parts of the world. Write this number down: 877-725-8255. 877-725-8255. You can start calling about 5 after 1. We'll get your calls out. Let me see if I can help Stuart out. Hey, Stuart, you with me?
Hi, Warren. How are you?
I am doing fine. Am I reading my computer right? You lost both your wife and your dog recently?
No.
Oh, okay.
I lost my wife last month.
Oh, I'm so
but
sorry.
But my dog has changed.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable to watch him. He won't go on her side of the bed. He won't go on the chair that they used to sit together. He's just, and his eating habits have changed.
Let me ask you a couple things.
Once a day, now he wants to eat twice a day.
Okay, I understand that. A full belly makes everything feel better.
Yeah.
First of all, my heart breaks for you. Having gone through the loss of a spouse myself, it's very, very difficult time.
Beyond belief.
The change of behavior for your dog isn't, you don't see it, but your behavior's changed as well. Your sleeping hours have changed. Your eating habits have changed. Your the way you feel has changed. Your emotions have changed. Believe me, I've been through it, okay? So it's not just the fact that he lost his friend and your wife, which is really important, but also the changes in your life. And I always recommend to people, when they have a significant other that crosses over, and this is easy for me to say and it was hard for me to do as well, try to keep everything in terms of the walking times, the feeding times, the sleeping times as consistent as you possibly can. There's enough changes going on. It's only been a month since you lost your wife, so it's a real short time for you. You need to go through some grieving time. The dog needs to go through some more grieving time. It's kind of what I said early on. When my wife passed away in 1990, she was only 36 years old. I had many, many dogs and cats and other animals at that time. And you know what got me through it? Not only a lot of tears, but what got me through it was making sure that my animals got through it. They all loved my wife Faye. They adored my wife Faye. She was the person who took care of all of them. So that being said, it's early on at this point. Give it some time. But I want you to. What's your dog's name?
Kane.
I want you to sit down with King, and I want you to talk to King, and I want you to let King know. Listen, I know what you're going through, King. We lost our best friend. I lost my wife. You lost your mommy. We're going to get through this together. Cry together. Talk together. But again, remember the good times, as I said earlier. Your wife is crossed the rainbow bridge, and I may not be the most spiritual person in the world, but I do believe, God, I do believe that there's somebody up there looking down at us and taking care. So you'll get through this, and your dog will get through it as well. But don't ever hesitate to sit down and have that conversation. Don't hesitate to sit there and cry with your dog. Don't hesitate to sit there and laugh with your dog at the same time. Great call.
I don't. You know what? He's the most wonderful dog we've ever had, and we've had many.
Wow.
And this is the most. I thought my last dog, which my wife called you about some years ago, and I think your answer was the funniest thing. We talked about it for years in our whole family. She called and she said to you, we live by the beach. So the beach has a lot of activity. And the dog barked a lot. That was Bandit. And always barking at everyone out on the beach. They're gonna cut us off. But let me tell you what I said. I probably said, "Tell the dog I got it from here." No, you said, "Get rid of the house, move."
Bless you. I'm gonna put you on hold, and we're gonna send you a jar of hug and kisses for your cat as well. I appreciate that call. Have a great week, guys. Sorry we ended real quickly. 877-725-8255. The next show. Until next week, give all your pets a big hug and a kiss. I'm Warren Eckstein, and bless you for listening to the show.